Hi, my name is Pearl Chiarenza, and I am honored to be with you today. I am actually the owner of Women's Successful Living, and we are based here in Florida in the Tampa Bay area. However, we are also working with clients all over the world and all over the globe. So I'm excited to share with you today and to speak with you about something that's really dear to my heart. And that is about learning to be the authentic self that you are. You see, my story goes a little something like this, and you might relate if you're a mom. And if you're not and you have other areas of your life that keep you quite busy, you might hear yourself in the story. So my family and I, we moved from Virginia over 14 years ago. And the goal was, when I came down, was I was going to be the stay-at-home mom, and I was going to be here when my kids got home from school, get involved with the PTA, and do all those things that, as a mom, you think you want to do, right? So I did that. I became part of the PTA. I got very involved in my community. And as life went on, my oldest son was becoming very focused in joining football, and he wanted to be a football player. So, they all have that goal of, I'm going to make it to the big league, right? So, I'm a mom. I want to help him get there. So I used to be the one that would be behind the camera on the football field, and I was always taking the video, taking the pictures. I volunteered helping with the meals before the boys would go off and play on the football field. I did whatever I could do to help support him in that. That it also included helping him write his resumes. So we would write his resumes. We would sit and spend time doing letters to the coaches. And as it became the end of his junior year of high school into a senior of high school, we would go on those college visits that, we all do with our kids and to support our kids. So as we went through this process, we worked really hard together, and he would go with the schools and do the visits, and he actually got a scholarship for football, which, that's exciting. We were so happy and so proud of him. And in the meantime, I started this class called Identity and Destiny. And during the class, it was about a 6-week course. And during the course, we would spend time on, what our goals were, what vision we have. We didn't do a vision board, but we walked through what that looked like for us. And so you can imagine that each week we would get to know those in the group with us and really get to talk with others, and we'd call each other out. So near the end of the class, the last week of the course, we were supposed to come in and share our I am statement. So for me, thought, I've got this, right? So I walk in and I give my I am statement, and my friend, who I didn't know before the course, but I call her a friend because she calls you out, she keeps you honest. She says to me, "All I hear is you're about your son, Matt. Don't you have another son?" Imagine sitting there and hearing that and realizing she's right. Realizing I have another son. I haven't even mentioned him to you yet. His name is Nate. He's an amazing young man, very into computers. He can design and create websites. He edits videos. He even has designed his own computers. Like, he's built his computer from scratch and told the store, this is everything I want, right? So I sat in that class and I was like, she's right. Shannon told me, all I hear is you're a mom, and all I hear is about Matt. So sit back and think for a second. Where are you in your story? Where are you in your chapter of life? Are you a mom? Are you a professional that works really hard at your job? Are you somebody who's in school right now that you're dedicating everything that you do morning, noon, and night to getting great grades? All those things are awesome. You can accomplish many things. However, where are you in that story? You see, I've been married for over 30 years, an amazing, amazing man named Chuck. We have 2 beautiful kids. Actually, they're young adults now. Matthew is now 23, and our youngest, Nate, is going to be 21 in January. And when Shannon said that statement to me, I had to sit back and think, where am I in my story? Where have I been in my story? Why have I written my chapter of my life? Why am I not going after my goals that I have? So I sat back, and during this time, I had opened a business. I had opened up a clinic to help people become healthy. I was probably about 5 years into that business when Shannon called me out on that. And I had to stop and think and say, who am I really? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to empower? And where is Pearl in my life? So I ask you, as you hear me speaking today and taking notes, ask yourself, where are you showing up in your life? Where are you taking care of your self-care? Where are you empowering yourself to take care of the things you need to take care of? Because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of your family, your spouse, your house. You can do those things, but you can't do them the way you want to. You can't accomplish the things you want to accomplish when you don't put yourself first. So today I want to talk about, what's shackling you? What's holding you back from going after what you really are wanting in your life? What is those things that are keeping you from saying, I got to come second. I got to come last. I don't matter first. What are those things? So I want to talk to you about the 4 steps that's involved in that. And there's 4 steps to coming and becoming your authentic self. First, I want to talk to you about, increasing your self-awareness. So when you increase your self-awareness, you have to think about and identify with what matters to you most. What is that one thing that if everything in life was going great, you didn't have to worry about money, the kids were doing great, the house was going great, the marriage was going amazing well. What's that one thing that you want to go do? What's the one thing you want to accomplish? Is it going on a trip? Is it starting a business? Is it closing a business you're in because it's not right business for you? Or is it sitting back and taking time for yourself and maybe even writing that book you've been holding back on writing? What is it that's holding you back and shackling? And so once you identify what you care the most about, then you can start that path of self-awareness. You have to think about, when you're doing that self-awareness, what are your values? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Are you surrounded by the right people that align with those values and those likes? Do you need to separate yourself from those people that surround yourself with things you dislike? It sounds simple, right? Oh, I got this. I can nail this. This is easy. Sit down and start working on the work. Let's talk about how easy we really think it is. So in today's world, determining all those things, determining what's most important to you, can be difficult. We're in very unique circumstances this year. Before COVID, life was going, for some of us, we were just on this path of go, 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 go. For many of us, taking the step back that COVID has allowed you to do, it's been probably an eye-opener for you. You probably have talked about what your values are. You have probably sat down and even thought about a vision board and where you want to go, right? And maybe you have separated yourselves from some of those people that you don't like being around. And you just kind of go out with them because, hey, they're fun to hang out with and so-and-so is going to be there. And maybe I might get business out of this, or, maybe it will lead me down this path. So are they the right people to be around? Do they align with your values? And is it something you like to do? Because here's the thing. It's okay to say no to things that don't align up with your values. It's okay to shackle your boundaries and say, I don't think this is the right thing for me right now, so I'm going to say no, not now. It doesn't mean you can't do it again later. It just says no, not right now. It's not the right thing for me. One of the things that I do is I start my vision board actually in October. Last weekend, we actually did a retreat. I want to show you. We did a retreat last weekend, and we actually did vision purses. So this is what we created. So we came up with our vision purse. And the goal is that you're going to carry this vision wherever you go. Now, for those of you that are men that are like, I'm not going to carry a purse, that's okay. But having a vision of where you want to go in life is really, really important, to know where you're going and then the reason for that is you can start manifesting and seeing all those visions come to fruition, right? So when you become clear on your values and align it up with what that vision is, you're going to see the things that you're manifesting are going to start coming to you. You're going to sit back and be like, wow, I asked for that. I asked for that opportunity to go do that speaking engagement. I asked for that opportunity to go work with that client. Or maybe there's that corporate client that you've been wanting to work with, but because you were saying yes to everything else, it wasn't coming to you, right? So when you give up what doesn't align with your beliefs, you'll start receiving the things that do. But the question is, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up, or what are you willing to say no to that keeps you aligned with what your vision is and is most important to you? So for me, I had to start saying no to all the different fundraising events I would go do. It wasn't that I didn't want to support them. It's just that I have a goal. My goal is to take my women's retreats that we do every year. We have a pajama retreat. They're lots of fun. We show up, we wear no makeup for the weekend. We hang out in pajamas. We have amazing women speakers that come and share their life stories and how it's impacted them. And so for me, my vision is I want to have an East Coast, West Coast retreat. So to do that, I have to align myself with the people and the goals that are going to get me there. And some of those don't align up with the values that I have. Like I have values that if you want to come speak at my retreat, you have to agree to not wear makeup. I can tell you that I've turned 2 speakers away because they wouldn't agree to that. Because that is how, for me, being authentic with those that are attending the retreat and are ready to receive and be impacted in their lives, that's something that for me aligns with my values. It's important. So in October, when I do my vision, I think about what do I want to achieve for the next year? What is going to keep me to my authentic self? What's going to keep me being first and taking care of me first, but still let me accomplish the things I want to do for my family, the things I want to do for my business, and the things that I want to do for my community. So when you start shackling up those boundaries and you start saying no to things, think about this. You actually are allowing somebody else to say yes to it. Because there could be somebody who's sitting in the wings that's been like, oh, I would really love to go work with that charity, or I would really love to go do that event, or I would love to go speak at that event. But if you say yes to everything, that person's sitting back here and going, man, when's it going to happen? It's on my vision board. I'm trying everything. So just think about this. When you say no, remember you're saying and allowing somebody else to say yes. I think that's really important to remember because we feel guilty that when we say no. We feel guilty when we put ourselves first. People tell you, well, why wouldn't you say, go do that event? Or why won't you do that? Come on, I've really been wanting you to help me. I've been waiting so long for you to help me. You're so great at gathering gift baskets for everybody, right? Or you're so great at organizing everybody together. But is that really what you want to do for your goals that you have set up for the next year? You may be great at all those things they're telling you, and that's awesome. However, I ask you, do they align with what you are wanting to accomplish, with what your vision is and what you're manifesting? If the answer is no, just say, I would really love to help you, Susie. And I've already done my vision and my goals for next year. So it's not aligning for me this year. However, if you come to talk to me next year, like around September timeframe, let's talk about how it might fit in my vision for 2022, right? So you're not telling her no, or you're not telling that person no. You're just saying no, not now, right? And that's okay because it's staying in your boundaries and you're keeping yourself focused on what your goals are and what your authentic self is for what you're looking to accomplish. And it lets you stay on what aligns to you that's most important. So now the next thing is you have to take action. All right, I've got my vision together. I've got my goals together. I'm saying no to people, but now what, right? So the thing is you have to take action. You have to make sweeping changes. Saying no to people for some of us can be really hard because I can tell you I was always a yes person. I'll volunteer for that. I'll do that. I can create this. I'll do the flyer for you, right? So you have to take action. And part of the action is sticking to your boundaries, sticking to what's important to you. Saying no to people is taking action. Finding and networking with those people that will lead you to your path of what you want to accomplish and what allows you to put your authentic self first is what's going to help you to accomplish your goals. So let's go back to my son for a little bit. So I had to take action after Shannon says to me, Pearl, I don't hear anything about Nate. I hear nothing about your husband. I hear your mom, but where's Pearl? What's Pearl want? So that was in January of 2015. June of 2015, we're so excited. Matt's graduating high school. Now we're bringing him off to college, right? So I literally drove him to college. We unpacked everything. We even did a road trip together with actually three of us because he was dating a really sweet girl at the time. And so we arrive, help him unpack. And you know, anybody who's brought a student to college before, your kids to college, they want you out of there fast. Like, go, go, go. I don't need you here, right? Because they're adults now. They're going to spring. They're going to fly and be that adult that they've been trying to be, right? So I knew that was going to be the case, but I needed to let him know that I was proud of him and that now it's time for him to fly. So what I did was I went up to my son, Matthew, as of course I held back those tears and didn't want to let him go, but knew I needed to let him go. And I literally held up my hand and I said, I'm giving you this imaginary gift. I want you to know that God and I have wrapped up everything, every goal, every dream you have. We worked really hard together. In some cases, probably too hard. In some cases, we probably smothered you a little bit. However, we've wrapped up this box for you. I want you to now take it, and how you unwrap it is up to you. So I've now taken it from me and I'm giving it to him. It's hard to do. If you're a parent, it's hard to let go. If you are tied to something that you just love to do, maybe it's a business you're doing, you know, it's not the right business for me anymore. So it's hard to let go of that. It's hard to say, I need to close this business because I really want to go do this. Or I really want to leave this job because it's not the right job for me. I really want to go do this. It's hard to break those ties. It's hard to make a change. Fear is fear, but fear is just a liar because you can do it. So I handed Matthew that gift and we drove home his girlfriend and I drove home. And I knew, you know, I had to trust that he would open up the gift the way he needed to. I can tell you, he hasn't opened up the gift the way I and his dad would like him to. He's had some struggles. He did do 1 year of college. And now he's trying to figure out life. He's had some bumps in the road and he's unwrapping his gift. I have moved on to take care of things that I want to do first. However, part of my action, and actions, like I said, are not easy. I had to go back to my other son. I had to tell Nate, I owe you an apology. Because I wasn't being authentic to me, it allowed me to have blinders on to not be the authentic mom to you that I needed to be. And so I had to spend that time with myself before I even had that conversation with him to understand that, you know, my actions and my neglecting his great things that he does. And part of that was because I was confident that, you know, Nate's a great kid. He's got it all together and he still does, you guys. He's still amazing. He is over at Florida Polytech. He is in charge of campus activities. He's an RA at school. I mean, he's an amazing young man. So I had to tell him, I'm sorry. That was part of taking action to get to where I wanted to go. So saying sorry is hard. And sometimes you need to do that. So if there's somebody that came to your mind as I said that, make a note to yourself and give them a call and let them know you're thinking about them and that maybe you want to apologize to them for something that you said, you neglected them on, or whatever that might be. If it's calling on your heart right now, write it down and do that. I challenge you to do that in the next 24 hours. So part of my action was taking that time to tell Nate I was sorry. We spent the next couple of years helping him, you know, being involved in what he did at school. He's very involved in the engineering department at his high school. He took sign language instead of a foreign language because that was the option he could take. And he actually went and he sign language the song 7 Years. And I have to tell you, it was the most beautiful thing to watch him with these words and the way he sign language it. It was so amazing. I don't know that I could do it. I'm sure if I learned it and, but it was so amazing to watch and realize I had this other amazing young man in my life that I can now spend time with him. But I was also spending time with myself. I was also realizing that my business, I wanted to shift. I had so many people that would come to me for help with their health, but they would say, Pearl, you're such a great coach and you do amazing things. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But anyway, so they said, you're such a great coach. You do amazing things. And my friend needs help, but they don't need to lose weight or they don't need some of the things you're doing. Can you go talk to them? So I found myself having conversations with clients' friends. I would go have coffee with them or whatever that case would be. Maybe we would have lunch. And I realized I was spending a lot of time doing that and it was taking me away from my business, but it also opened up that I always wanted to be that teacher. I always wanted to be that person who would help others. So I decided to go and expand my business and become a life coach. And in doing so, it's actually expanded my world of what I do and who I help, because now I am working with women and young girls about things in their lives that they're doing that's keeping them from finding their chapter in their life. I'm empowering women to be in their chapter of their life, to write their story today in their life, to not sit back and do like I did and let many years pass by and go, where was I? Right? I'm inspiring them to do that. So we've grown into Women Successful Living now. So I've taken those actions. I started with small steps. The small steps were saying and apologizing to my son, Nate. And then the next steps were realizing I want to do something bigger with my business. So those small steps became bigger steps, but they always aligned with my behaviors and what was most important to me in my values. So I did not want in my values, I didn't want people to go, where was I at? Right? So I have been able to empower others to do the same thing. So the last thing I want to tell you is that you can't do it on your own. Okay? We could sit back and we could tell ourselves, I got this. I can do this. I don't need help. Listen, I'm a coach. Even me as a coach, I need a coach. I go see a coach. It's okay. But when we were talking before about likes and values and aligning yourself with those things, you also need to be thinking about who those people are. And so it's really important to, when you get support, think about that colleague or friend or somebody that is good about keeping you accountable, but also good about telling you the great things you're doing so that when you are beating yourself up, there'll be that little reminder, that little angel on your shoulder that says, listen, it's hard right now. And you are great at working with women. You help young women realize that they have more in life than just being a mom, just being a student in school, and that they have values. And so it's really important to have faith in your abilities, to know that you can do anything you want to do. And we hear that all the time. Oh, you can do whatever you want to, just put your mind to it. But the mind plays tricks on you, right? So you have to really every day get up. I take time in the morning and I do what I call a power hour, which I learned from a great coach about doing. And really in that power hour, I'm taking care of my personal needs. I might do meditation. I might read a book. I might even just call a friend that I've been going, oh, I haven't talked to her in so long. Whatever that is for you, take an hour a day and work on something that involves taking care of you. If you're a business owner, takes care of your business. And then as you do that, if you are a mom or if you are a wife, all those things then come next. And you can take care of those things with such great ability and such great success. And you will be so proud of yourself that when a few years pass, and maybe you have kids like I do, and maybe they graduate high school. You can stand there proudly and be like, hey, my son graduated and I'm graduating with him in my life. I'm graduating in my next chapter. I'm ready to write my next chapter. I've written about 4 books, and in each of those books, I've written about the struggles and how I've overcome the struggles and how I empower others. So I want to tell you that you can do anything you put your mind to it. Yes, again, like I said, everybody tells us that. You just have to take action. You have to shackle your boundaries. You have to be able to say no to things. You have to be able to ask for help. You have to be able to reach out to those people that you care about the most, and they've got your back, and say, hey, I need help. I'm struggling here. Can you help me? Can you connect me to somebody that will lead me to speaking at this opportunity, or that somebody that will lead me to be introduced to this person or this company? Ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. There's no shame in asking for help. Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, when you rest your head in the evening and you look back on your day, you will be able to say, I did the things today that I want to do because I shackled my boundaries, because I care about what it is that I'm building for myself personally, for myself professionally, and how I'm taking care of my family. So I would encourage you to really sit down and think about those things. I will tell you, there was one advice I got that I want to share with you, and that is life is a ball game. And during certain times of that ball game, sometimes people or things need to sit in the bench. So in your world right now, and in putting yourself first and in shackling your boundaries, is there something you're doing right now that's distracting you from accomplishing and getting forth with the actions you need to take to become your authentic self? And if those things are coming to mind to you, put them over on the bench. Let them sit in the bench right now, because it's your game of life. And it's okay to let something or someone to sit in the bench, as long as you keep to what your goals are and what your rules are for your boundaries. And if you can do that, you are going to start seeing the things you have on your vision board start manifesting and start coming to fruition. And you're going to look back and you're going to go, wow, I've been in my chapter. I've been living my life. You're no longer going to look back and wonder where you were, because you are an amazing person. You accomplish amazing things, and you deserve everything you set your mind to. And when you shackle your boundaries, you will find your inner pearl to greatness. Please visit us at wsliving.com if you want more information. I'm honored to speak with you today, and I hope that you have an amazing day.